it's always a beautiful cutting slice of the butter when you say that you're from Essex. What's going on then, Brighton? Oh, thank you. Good music scene down there. You know, we thought we were going to a boozer, then suddenly it opened up and it was like some kind of 1912 French backroom sleaze burlesque club. Where should we start with the people of Brighton? Late afternoon, pissing down with rain. You had a group of Italians that would not stop telling me how fucking proud they were of Nando's. They worked there and they had their shirts on. Two Irish geezers on my right, who honestly didn't know if St Paddy's Day had finished or not, and they were still cracking on, which I fucking admire. It was really strange because you got put through to this little dark room and I was like, well, how the fuck can I play here because no one's here? So in the end I ended up playing the doorway to 2 Irish, 3 Italian and a haven of fucking suffragettes. This was where the blossoming Ben rolled his beautiful 58th bifter. I don't know, he knew as soon as we got up and that we fucking meant business, and I like that when people can see that in someone else. He had a mate, tanked up Terry we can call him if you want, but I was not impressed with his fucking hat or the way that he bowled in and would not give us a position on any of the hip hop night. I ain't got time for Terry, and Terry didn't have time for me. We never got to play that night, so I was annoyed. We'd get into a cafe somewhere, we'd work the morning. Around about 12, half 12, we'd start getting ready for the gig. Cafe Love Fit, that was alright. They had some Hawaiian thing going in there. Do a little bit of work in the afternoon and then roll on down to the Brunswick. We met Tom. We weren't allowed at the door till about 8 o'clock. The first act decided that it would be alright to do a poem from his fucking phone, which I've got no time for at all. Absolutely incredible when you sit down and realise that what you thought was an open mic turns out to be an X Factor audition. So Italian Frank from Spain got up, he smashed a few tunes out, he must have passed, he was loving life. I know some blonde bird that got up with a fender, never a bad thing. But I just never understand why these people are doing it. A beautiful 4-ball, and we met Tate and Lyle. When you get to a place and they're straight away, do you want a beer? You think, yeah, I'll have some of that. That's beautiful hospitality. And then he kicks up a, alright boys, there's a bit of bacon left over. The gig was, I reckon, probably the finest down there. When you're using a Hoover as a mic stand. Speed, agility, did you connect? They're the 3 things that we normally go for on a very, very good match ball. This was delightful. Got in. Smashed out a tune or 2. I was pissed off because the PA weren't loud enough. Jack come to my rescue, and then turns out he makes beautiful lo-fi music. We went to the Quadrant, and this was more like a fucking Russian execution room. We met Mike, who clearly was a bit of a baller on the open mic scene down there, and they're fucking good with us because it must be hard us going in, playing the gig, and then saying see you later. So we kind of get the best of everything. But they understand normally that we're doing 500 shows in 1 year, not an easy task. Louis, the reverb chorus blues extraordinaire. I hadn't seen Louis since number 13, Steam Passage. So it was nice to catch up with a few people that I hadn't seen for fucking nearly 400 shows. When you walk into some venues, you don't need to say a word, and that was one of them. No one was getting any love. It's always a beautiful cutting slice of the butter when you say that you're from Essex. But when I'm up against it, I like those gigs because you work differently. So we never played, is this the Love Line? Yeah. We've never done 5 gigs in 1 day. It was time. And we went into a place called Rottingdean. It led you down to this little cafe that was set in the rocks. And what I liked about it was it looked like every single place in Rottingdean was closed until you walked in. And it turned out to be even bigger inside. So it was a little bit of a fucking Alice in Wonderland going on down there.
I wonder which way I ought to go.
Yeah, Nero's, then Molly's on the beach. So Brighton Rocks was where we met Fraser. He turned out to be a pro golfer at his time. To the office, back to Magic Mike and Golden Tip Josh. No one goes to New Haven. Not even people in New Haven goes to New Haven. It was definitely a lounge moment in an asylum. You know, we had them straight away. They were listening ears, definitely. Yeah, we were like Columbus that fucking day. I love it. I love the fact that Thursday, just back to a 4-ball. You bowl in and the area manager bowled round. I couldn't even tell you his name. It was something like Angliola from Tenerife. This magical beard, brilliant Elvis haircut. I thought he was Italian, but it turned out he was from a small island. To Hanover, started promising my people, and then I rolled on to Less Said the Better. There's this beautiful moment in Less Said the Better where it rolls down to middle eight, and I quickly just looked at Don, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a feral child on this. I'm going to get a real saxophone on this fucking tune. And he jumped on. I didn't even have to say I was in the key of B, and before you know it, Don's slutting himself down on Less Said the Better. On to Fortune of War. That was like an upside down boat. We met Barry for the first time. He was trying to juggle up fucking Noah's Ark like you wouldn't believe. And then it was over to the latest bar. I'd never met John, the organiser, and we were meant to be there at 5 o'clock for sound check. That never fucking happened. And John greeted us with a kind of, you gave me a heart attack handshake. And then we played, and it was fucking lonely. It felt like there was football pitches between you and the crowd. I'd kind of just got John in. I'd not really met John, and I just started to talk to John halfway through the gig. I remember thinking, fucking, what am I doing? And then he was just like, can you play Love Schizophrenia? And I hadn't played Love Schizophrenia, I think the whole week I'd been down there. And I like Love Schizophrenia at the moment because I'm able to play it on one string, which I think more entertains me than anyone else, really. The final Friday, which some would say relaxed, others would say the hardest fucking free ball we've ever had. Started off in Nero down at George Street. We didn't have a mic for these shows. I fucking hate it when you get told to turn down straight off the back on the first few tunes. So we rolled from George Street just round the corner to Madola, seeing that Brighton was out and they were feisty on the Friday. The Blue Man, it was like a Moroccan Zanzibar. Mac was running the show that day. He was like this beautiful hippie that you would have thought would have been on mushrooms or some shit like that, walking the hills of the Zanzibar. But he was on his shit, firmest fucking handshake in Brighton. We always go in assuming that these places are there for us. This time, I got right in amongst the people. I dropped the ego, and once you break down the way that you live and the way that your day is, suddenly it all opens up. 20 gigs in 6 days, from Southend to Brighton. Take care and see you next time. Mission complete. Big ups. This time.